To conclude today's ceremony, I'm pleased to invite the President of Mount Royal University, Dr. David Docherty, to address us. Sir.
Thank you. Your Honours, Minister McKay, Madam Premier, General de Chastelain, Mr. Richardson, honours guests, students, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Mount Royal University, welcome and thank you for all of you for joining us today. Over the past year, as you know, Mount Royal has been celebrating 100 years as a post-secondary institution. And throughout our centennial, we've been remembering Mount Royal's many achievements ever since our founding in 1910 and the many ways the world has evolved and changed. As many of you know, I'm fairly recent to Mount Royal, and when I arrived in August, I went through many of the centennial celebrations that have taken place and were upcoming. When we came to this one, there was one in particular, this one, that, as my kids would say, scored very high on the wow factor. Why? Because not only is it a solemn event and an important event and a remembering event, but it's also an event that ties our past to our future, because not only do we honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but we do it in a way that celebrates the next generation of students and Mount Royal alumni. It's vital when we remember the good times that we also remember the difficult times that have touched the lives of our students, our faculty and staff, and our alumni. During Mount Royal's first century, the world was engulfed in 2 world wars. The United Nations undertook military operations to bring peace to countries around the globe, and Canadian soldiers began their military mission in Afghanistan, playing a crucial role that continues to this day. And every time, people from Mount Royal, ordinary people like you and I, have stepped forward to answer the call to serve their country. Their contributions are recorded in various ways. For example, 2 beautiful scrolls are on display in Mount Royal's administrative offices that list the names of those from Mount Royal community who have served in the Second World War. But perhaps inevitably, as the decades have gone by, the memories of those contributions may grow dim until now. The Military Memorial Bursary Project has been introduced as a part of our centennial celebrations, and I want to thank the director of the Mount Royal Archives, Pat Room, and Hunter White, who conducted research into members of our campus community who have served Canada in uniform. The university has also reached out beyond our campus, seeking out relatives and friends of the students and employees who fought for Canada. Our goal was to gather photographs and information to help us better tell the stories and to remember the lives of the 27, now 28 students who made the ultimate sacrifice. Our involvement with the Canadian military reaches back to the First World War, when 120 members of the campus community fought in uniform and 9 died. At the end of the war, Mount Royal's founding principal, Reverend Dr. George Kirby, told students that the spirit of courage and sacrifice and determination is still needed to make secure for all times the fruits of victory. His words were prescient, because only 20 years later, the world was at war once again. And once again, Mount Royal students, faculty, staff, and alumni enlisted. More than 300 women and men served in uniform, and 16 gave their lives. Mount Royal's proud ties with Canada's military have continued. We expanded our programs in the 1940s, helping to retrain servicemen and servicewomen who were returning to Canada. This very campus, as we know, is located on the site of the No. 3 Service Flying Training School, where hundreds of Royal Canadian Air Force pilots trained. Since the end of the Second World War, Mount Royal students and alumni have continued to serve our country with courage and with distinction. Tragically, one was killed during a United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Middle East, another during the war in Afghanistan. Theirs is a powerful legacy, and one that we are proud to honor today. I'm going to quote our first principal, George Kirby, once again. In 1919, he also said that education was more valuable than ever because it, quote, gave a resolute, unshakable persistence in the realization of a life purpose that is worthwhile. When he spoke, Mount Royal was a college. Today, we are a university. And our faculty and staff are still dedicated to helping students become thoughtful, critical thinkers who hold a true understanding of community and of citizenship. Universities have a duty to create citizens who give back, citizens who understand their responsibilities to the state, to their neighbors, and to civil society. And there is no greater contribution to that society than to serve in defense of your country and of world peace, and no greater sacrifice than to give your life. So today we remember these citizens, we remember their service, and we honor their sacrifice. We take pride in their contributions, and we celebrate the military memorial bursaries being introduced in their memory. As we have heard today, these bursaries hold deep meaning. They might mean, for instance, that a student no longer has to shoulder the burden of working the midnight shift at a part-time job before getting up at 8 a.m. to write an exam. They might mean students can spend more time with their families while working towards their academic successes. But perhaps most meaningful of all, these bursaries remind us that each of the 27, now 28 soldiers from Mount Royal who were killed in action were also students, each with his or her own individual dreams and goals. These bursaries then put a very human face on the names engraved on the memorials both here and overseas, and inspire us all to honor and protect the principles and freedom they fought to preserve. As Mount Royal University embarks on our second century, the legacy of these 28 people, students, soldiers, Canadians, will continue to touch the lives of our present students. We will remember them with deep gratitude this year and every year. Your Honours, on behalf of Mount Royal University, thank you for being here with us today. Minister McKay, thank you also for your remarks, and we are deeply honoured by the presence of Alberta representatives from the Canadian Forces who have participated in today's ceremony. Thank you to the Premier for being with us today and your remarks, and thank you, General Chastelin, for serving as honorary chair of this initiative. And thank you to the families who have shared your stories so generously with us. Thank you all once again for being here today.